Hello everybody and welcome in to the 4th week of the Marvel Rivals Grassroots Weeklies. I'm Spartan Tano and I'm joined by the legendary Diatonic. A new team that joined us this week, Group FN, and of course, can they overcome Dawncore? That's the question.
It's going to be 3-on-3 here, potentially in this team fight, maybe even 4-on-4 as we break into this thing here. Lumique still up there in front for Dawncore, trying to take some of the damage on that Doctor Strange portal and just keep that team alive while they charge up here. And now Effort's going to kick things off here with a judge, jury, and executioner on that Punisher.
Oh, can they find the KOs? But the Saphatic has managed to take them down in return. Hella shutting that one down the instant it was called in. We do see Cloak and Dagger trying to dive into the backside here. Final Judgment coming in the opposite way, but it's going to be Goddess of Death here by Saphatic to just rain down that damage. Decoys are actually on the flank now for Dawncore, but it's going to be Kizaru that finds the KO. Let's see if they can respond to it, though. They're falling down bit by bit. Effort managing to get some healing, get back up from being KO'd. Lumique, though, here on the Black Panther, just looking for these quick KOs, although they're on Captain America. This is not the character you expect the Black Panther to go for, but he's not going to refuse the KO and finds it. And as the most recent champions of the Grassroots Weekly, the undefeated champions, it's not the team you do that for. I gave momentum over to Dawncore, and they were always going to capitalize on that.
Vev missed his target there, going for that Human Torch out of the air, but it didn't stop him from making an impact. Dawncore seemed to be scrambling a little bit as they realized, oh, we have a Wolverine right behind us. Okay, awesome. And Kavev is continuing to slice and dice here. Kizaru goes down. His ult is up, and Orion, again, still in full control of this match. Almost 50% off their first cap here, and they firmly have ult economy. 5 ults charged and ready to go, so maybe another team fight win there for Orion. And again, still we're seeing here 2 big team fights in already, and Dawncore have not picked up any elims yet. I'm really surprised by that, Tano.
Wow, Dawncore, it's bend, don't break, buddy. We do see the Psionic Seduction coming out from Haley, and they've managed to find the double with it. That's going to be massive as they take Saphatic as well. That's the triple. It's going to be the time for the Butterflies diving on in here from Frost and doesn't find any KOs with it. Greg just absorbs all of that, buddy.
And Greg runs down Frost in there, as we saw, for Orion Wanderers to retake here. But Kizaru with the Doctor Strange portal going to try and get him back on this point, at least to make a touch for overtime. Orion Wanderers only got 1 ult, but at least it's a Loki ult here. Nothing on the side of Dawncore, as this is going to be a last desperation ditch effort here to try and get back on that point, and it blows up in their face. A breakdown on the side of Dawncore.
And we see the damage raining on through. Cloak and Dagger ultimate comes on through. Albion's going to find a KO, and so is Frost. Dawncore wiping through Orion Wonder as overtime is about to expire, and yet again we have another shutout, Diatonic.
Yeah, a massive gamble on the side of Dawncore to hold on to all those ults, but a gamble that pays off nonetheless here. 3-0 on Yggdrasil Path will lock it in for Dawncore, and they are moving on to Grand Finals.
So now Decoys are on a healing deficit no matter how well they play in their ultimate camp, unless we see the swap away from Frenzy's Rocket.
Yeah, and Orion has to be very careful about who they target here and who they go after. You know, they've been making some really smart plays so far this game. It's not just about brute force and getting up in their face and fighting. It's about looking for key picks to dismantle the strategies that Decoys have been building up here. 3 ults flying on the side of Decoys, though. Effort, Frenzy, and Waldo letting it go here. Effort does find a double kill there right away to put Decoys back in control of the payload, as teams so evenly matched here. But Waldo is going to drop the Strange portal to get him back into the fight. If they win this team fight, they're gonna close out the map and get 3 points here. But if not, Orion Wanderers does have a pretty good chance here to try and win this thing with no extra rounds involved. And there we go. Duck is letting the Psionic Seduction fly. They do manage to find a roar there. This may be all Decoys needs. One really good pick here. They're in control of the payload. Probably 15-20 meters left to go. Lagon throws out the Fate of Both Worlds, and they find 5 dogs there on the side of Orion Wanderer. Ed Level in trouble there for a second, but manages to hold on to it just barely. Halev is in trouble too. They are so close to falling here with just a few meters left to go here in overtime. At Level and Aurora letting the ults fly. There's no reason to hold on to anything at this point.
It was for that final point to have a more closed and condensed area to snipe out the backliners. And we saw that Invisible Woman swap off of Frenzy just way too late for it to find impact. And unfortunately, relying on just one healer, 48,000 heals is impressive to see, but unfortunately it was just not enough.
Effort, the SVP for the Decoys with so many final hits, but like you said, just not enough of an impact.
On the side of Orion Wanderers, and now they're building a little bit of momentum. Dawncore thrown back onto the point here, trying to put up the shields. We've got Fate of Both Worlds coming on in, and so is Cloak and Dagger as well. They're going to have plenty of space now that they've built up with that. Just waiting for Fate of Both Worlds to be used here, but they're looking for the KOs. Eye of Agamotto does come through, doesn't actually manage to stun anyone on the side of Dawncore. Advantage still on the side of Dawncore as we go on in with the Galactic Legend from Greg, trying to see if they can find the strategist here, but the Psionic Seduction is going to be too much for them to contain. Kizaru will not be stopped. They find the KOs, they rain down destruction, and Orion Wanderers getting stunned and KO'd left, right, and center. It's on overtime right now as we've hit 99%. Frosting here on the Spider-Man, trying to get back onto this point as quick as possible. Their ultimate, all of it being used on the side of Dawncore. Fate of Both Worlds is going to come through, but so is the Goddess of Death by Greg. They're going to rain down and find the KO onto Sabatic. No longer having that huge amount of damage coming on in here, but it looks like Dawncore are finding a couple of the picks that they're looking for. It's going to be a triple on the side of Greg, and they have just saved this game for Orion Wanderers. They've got just under 2 minutes to hold this off though, and we see Froston trying to put in the shift, holding them off with the Vanguard ability with that portal, but again, thrown back into the spawn room, buddy. Kraken Impact is going to come out here from Kavev. They try and find the KO, but they're defeated by the power of dark magic, and it seems like Dawncore just gripping on the victory in their hands here, have not broken yet again. They come back from the portal, they've got their heals, and they're fighting this out non-stop as we're about to hit the 120 mark on the clock. There we go, chat. Dawncore, not only your winners of the MRGR Week 4, but your complete winners of the MRGR for every single week.
The untouchables, as it were. No maps dropped throughout 4 weeks of competition. An absolutely insane feat for them. And Tano, I think this may be the first time I've ever seen a Black Widow MVP in Marvel Rivals, but 43-8 for Sabatic to close out the series. And again, you know, at the beginning of the day we said it, now I'm saying it again, it is all Dawncore.
29 final hits and MVP on Black Widow. I don't think we're going to see that again. Absolutely incredible play by that team. But Orion Wanderers, they take second place, but they do get some of that prize money, and of course they can hold their heads high because in that 4 weeks of competition, they improved, and they vastly improved. They did manage to push Dawncore, and it's such a shame that they ended up losing that level for quite a bit of that match, because that honestly felt like it was going to be the set to watch. Like Dawncore all day, all MRGR, they have been the team that bends and refuses to break.